All right, welcome back with Lock and Wiley. We're joined now by NBA champion Dante Jones, a longtime NBA player, CUTTINO Mobley. Let's talk some hoops, where the league's two premier franchises are both struggling after getting embarrassed by the Pelicans in the Anthony Davis fiasco. The Lakers got embarrassed by the 76ers on the court last night, giving up 143 points in a blowout loss. Meanwhile, the Celtics were up 28 on the Clippers Saturday before choking away the game and losing by 11. Afterward, Marcus Morris went off about Boston's lack of teamwork.
I watch all these other teams around the league, guys up on the bench, they're jumping on the court, they're doing all the stuff that this look like they're enjoying, their teammates' success, they're enjoying everything, and they're playing together, and they're playing to win. And when I look at us, I just see a bunch of individuals. Trade deadline's over. It's a team we rocking with, this is what we're going with, so at the end of the day, man, it's unacceptable what we did tonight. It's very unacceptable for a team of our caliber.
For my money, Boston is a bigger mess than the Los Angeles Lakers. And I know that Boston's won, I think, 7 of their last 10 games, 10 of 13 games, or whatever. But Boston was supposed to be a front runner for the NBA championship. They're 4th in the East. Marcus Morris has pointed out they don't have the kind of chemistry, the kind of team sharing, the type of leadership. They're not living up to their expectations. The Lakers are right on pace for where I thought they were. I thought they was a 42, 44, 45 win team, a borderline playoff squad. I think the whole Anthony Davis, the whole trade deal has actually hurt Boston more than it's hurt the Lakers.
Oh, I think the Lakers are in a worse situation. Let's just start with everything's going to get exaggerated in La La Land, especially when you have the biggest, best player on the planet on your team. So LeBron, just by his sheer presence, makes it an issue in LA for all things that go wrong. And a few things have gone wrong with this team. No one's talking about firing the coach in Boston. Every other week, every other day, it seems like we're hearing about Luke Walton's job and his security. The shine is not off Boston in terms of free agency acquisitions. A lot of people are saying it may be off the Lakers. And anybody up here, just, frankly, let's talk about LeBron James is there, but the Lakers haven't been known as a storied franchise in terms of getting free agents, highly touted free agents. They've got them through trade, but usually it's not a destination in terms of free agency. So some of the luster's off of the brand, it seems like. The coach is up and down. The team is not performing up to level because the young core that was supposed to help LeBron take him to the next level was now the same young core he wants to trade away. So I think it's the Lakers situation.
I agree with Jason in this one, buddy, because the Celtics have a tougher situation with Kyrie being banged up. They're looking at a trail ahead of them that is going to end up in something that's not great with their young core, knowing that there's a timeline on them with this AD saga moving into the free agency period. It's going to be tough for them. And with the Lakers, yeah, you can speak about their coach and every day he might get fired, but that's something the players can handle themselves. Everybody most likely can build chemistry around not liking the coach. That's fine.
What about the players getting fired?
But the players are not getting fired. Free agency period is tough. Period for all teams. All teams know that things are going to happen in free agency period. There's nobody really safe except the all NBA players, and sometimes they get traded themselves too. Yeah. So it's something that you really can't avoid.
I'm gonna go with Jason on this one, Marcellus. The reason is because you're in a vulnerable position with Kyrie Irving. He can leave, okay? You have, like I said the other day, what did I say? When it was about 50 seconds to go in the game, when they lost to the Lakers, Marcus Smart wasn't in the game. To me, I look at the bench. I look at body language. I look at a lot of those things. And when you can see Marcus Smart, and I'm not blaming Marcus Smart or anybody else on their team, but I'm watching body language. I do that a lot. So when you see a lot of those guys, like one of the Morris twins said, guys are not cheering for each other. Guys are more individual. Because last year was more of a Nobody was coming for us. All of a sudden now, we're supposed to be #1 in the East, especially if LeBron James is not there, and we're 5th. Gordon Hayward, you don't really fit. Not in that system, to me. Then you're digressing the progression of Tatum, what's the other kid? Jaylen Brown. These guys
Are regressing.
regressing, exactly.
And listen, there are 15 guys on the Boston roster who thought they were competing for an NBA championship this year. There's one guy on the Lakers roster who thought, I came here to win championships, and that's LeBron. Everybody else, to me, on that Lakers roster, it's just along for the ride. They're young, they're developing, they're
They may not be Lakers.
cast-offs. They may not be Lakers. You got 15 guys who sat down prepared to eat this glorious championship meal, and they getting spammed.
And you got
right
a team president who said, if I don't bring in free agents, I'll fire myself. You got a coach who doesn't know if he can coach his team or not. You got a team that lost by, 42 points just a couple of games ago.
I've seen teams run themselves. Like even when Dallas Mavericks won their championship, you'll get players that say, we tuned Rick Carlisle out halfway through the season, and Jason Kidd coached this team. And that's why Jason Kidd was up for coaching jobs. But speaking to your point, you got turmoil on your bench because you got young kids to say, you know what, we brought them to a conference finals, and we could have almost gotten to the finals if it wasn't for LeBron James.
Exactly.
But we're looking at people who came back and took our minutes and didn't earn these minutes.
Yeah.
And that's where your internal strife is. They didn't earn their minutes, and they're not doing their job. Yeah. So why are we not playing? You got guys on the bench that got busy last year and had to step back and take 9 less minutes.
And they were moving the
minutes.
ball a lot more.
Right.
Kyrie's more ball dominant. So Tatum and Brown, I think, are suffering because Kyrie's so ball dominant, and it throws your rhythm off. You understand? Last year with like Russell Westbrook and Paul George, the first time with those 3 guys and Carmelo Anthony. Now this year, Russell Westbrook is taking a back seat. He's taking a back seat and letting Paul George boogie. They're not doing that. Kyrie Irving is the alpha male in this one.
Because it's free agency's looming too.
All right, coming up, the Sixers just got a huge win over the Lakers without any help from Ben Simmons. We'll tell you if Simmons could actually be the Sixers' Achilles heel